It's time to get creative with Cassie. Welcome to my paper studio. Today we're going to be doing yet another Create in 15, which means it's a project that you can do in 15 minutes or less. Today's topic is going to be bags. So, there's a lot of glossine bags out there. There's a lot of different types of paper bags and stuff out there. And today I'm going to show you how you can make your own bags at home without having to go out and buy extra supplies. So, the materials you're going to need are some papers and some glue. That's it. That's all you need. And you can use whatever types of papers you want. I've got some tracing paper here that's going to give us more of like a faux glossine bag. I've got some book page. This, I'm not 100% sure what it is, but it's kind of slickish type paper. I'm not sure, but I've got some of that. I've got a piece of coffee dyed paper. I've got a piece of a printable. This is just brown paper from Amazon, brown packaging paper. And then I have a couple pieces here of like tissue paper. Okay, so we're going to start with these. And this is a good craft that you can set up at your, your little TV tray, whatever, watching TV in the evenings with hubby or the kids or whatever. You're going to need a pair of scissors too, so paper, scissors, and glue. Okay, and I'm just going to jump right in. So, we're just making the bases in this one. We are not going to be decorating anything. So, I'm also going to grab my bone folder, and we're going to get started. So, I'm just going to bend my paper. So you're going to fold your paper over, like so, and then you're going to take this side and fold it in, and however wide you want your bag to be, that's where you fold it. So if you want like a really wide one, or if you want to take this all the way over to the edge and have a really skinny one, it doesn't matter. Make it whatever size you want. I'm just going to go about there. Okay. Now, we're going to fold it up at the bottom about a ½ inch. Okay? About a ½ inch to 3/4 inch. And then we're going to do the same thing at the top. And again, this depends on how big you want your bag or how tall or short you want it. I think I'm going to go about here. Okay. But then I'm going to unfold this, and I'm going to go like so. So now if you can see here, I've got like a ½ inch in between those two folds, and you'll see why. So now we're going to unfold our paper. Let me get a pencil here. And we're going to do some cutting. So we're going to cut this corner off. We're going to cut this corner off. All three of these have to go. And then on the front, this piece has to go. Okay? So, I'm just going to take my scissors, and I'm going to cut like so. And then I'm going to cut straight down and cut on this line. And then we're going to cut straight up. And cut over like so. Okay, Now I'm going to cut at an angle on the bottom part. We're just going to cut up at an angle. And then we're just going to cut a little bit above that crease. My apologies for the noises in the background. My brother-in-law is doing some dishes for my husband. So, this is what we've got. You should have your 3 middle pieces, a little flap in the middle down here, and 2 flaps on the sides. So what we're going to do is we're going to fold this back up. Now when we fold this back up, I'm going to go ahead and put glue right here along this edge. And then I'm going to put glue along this edge. And I'm just doing a little strip, a little line of glue. And then we're going to glue those, make it all happy-go-lucky. And then I'm going to do the same thing at the bottom. I'm just going to put a little bit of glue, fold that up. Now, when you look at it from this side, it's kind of like, whoa, that looks kind of weird. So I'm just going to go in here, and I'm going to angle these. And you can use a little template if you want to angle them. They don't have to be perfect. But there we've got ourselves a little bag. And this is made out of the tracing paper, so it's very similar to the glassine bags. Now, if you were to coffee dye this paper, it gives it a totally different feel. So if you want it coffee dyed, go ahead and coffee dye it and then make the bag out of it. Now, if things aren't straight or you don't like them, you can go back in and cut and fix things. You could also go in with your pinking shears to give it that zigzag stitch, or some of your deco scissors, you know, and that would give it a fun look too. But then you can take this and you can stamp on it, you can decorate it, you could sew the bottom and up the sides. I mean, it's endless how you can decorate those. So there's that one. Now, let's make one out of this fun stuff. Okay, so I'm going to open that up. I'm going to do it this way. Again, I have no idea what this stuff is, but it's all like vintagey colored, and I like that. So, again, make it however wide or however skinny you want it to be. Fold your sides in, fold your bottom up, and fold your top down. Okay, and then when you get your top, remember to come back and do a second fold about a ½ inch above that one. Okay, so again, we're just going to get rid of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, so we just chop chop. And you know, it would be really easy to sit down and fold a bunch of these all at once, and then cut them all at once, and then glue them all at once. So do like assembly style. Okay. Sorry if I'm a little out of frame while I'm cutting, but it's kind of hard to keep it all underneath the frame, and plus it's hot, so I've got a fan going and it's blowing my paper. Okay, so again at the bottom you're going to angle and then just chop this one off. Again, you can go a little bit above your fold crease because, well, it's the bottom of the bag and you're not going to see it. again, we're going to do the same process. We're just going to fold this back in, put a line of glue, and I find that art glitter glue works really well for this. The Bearly art glue would probably work too. Otherwise, if you have some real thin double-sided tape, that would probably work. But I would not recommend using like Elmer's school glue or a tacky glue or anything like that, especially if you're working with these slick papers. I don't think that those would hold. So again, at the bottom, just going along where we cut. Glue that up. Okay. Now we're going to flip her over, and we're going to cut our corners. And this is not very straight at all. So I'll try to straighten it up just a tad. Okay, that's a little bit better. So there we have, this one is a little bit skinnier than our first one, and it's most definitely taller than our first one. So you can get different shaped bags by doing this, okay? So those are those materials. Now, this book page might be too fragile. Yeah, when I bend it, it breaks. So, let me grab a different book. Okay, so what I'm going to do with this book is I'm just going to glue 2 pages together because this is a little bit of a thinner paper. So I'm just using my glue stick, and like I showed in our book page bases for 8 and 15, I like to keep it in the book when I glue it together. And then I just kind of smoosh it down, and then rip out my page, okay? So, it's going to be the exact same process, only we're using a different kind of paper. Okay? So fold that. Fold this side. We're going to fold this up. Like so. Okay? Now I'm going to fold this down, and I am leaving that like that. I'm not going to do a second fold, and I'll show you. Okay? So this is our top, this is our bottom. Again, we're just going to snip the corner and then cut right above that fold line. Do the same thing on this side. If you want to cut this at a little bit of an angle, you can. But the reason you just want to cut above your fold line is that way when you fold these in and you fold this up, you don't have paper in the way. So, this is going to be a little bit different because I didn't do the double fold at the top like we did on our first 2. So with this one, what we're going to do is we're just going to cut this middle piece out. So if you want to, you just snip them, and the easiest way I find is to fold these pieces back down, and I flip it over, and then I trim this middle piece out. So, if you want your pocket to be the full height of your page, that's how you do that part. So now again, we're just going to fold it up and glue. Put a little bit of glue there, and a little bit here. Press those together. Get your bottom glued. And fold that up. Okay, so now when you fold it over, we've got to trim our corners again. And if you don't like this ruffly at the top, just go ahead and give it a little bit of a trim if you don't want that. And there you go. You've got yourself a book page bag or whatever. Okay. Same thing can be done with a piece of coffee dyed paper. So I'm just making all different ones. I'm in that, let's make a real fat one. I'm still in the let's build our stash mode. So, I just, when I make something and I get the stuff out to make it, I'm making like anywhere from 15 to 20 of them. That way I have them in my stash. And I'm making them neutral colors. That way I can make them fit into any project I need them to. Okay. So, again, we're just going to trim out this bottom. Okay. Do the other side. And now, again, we're doing this one just like we did the last one. We're keeping the height of the bag. So I'm going to fold both sides down. I'm going to flip it over so I'm looking at it from behind. And I'm just going to trim. Now at this point, if you want to get fancy with it and do, instead of just a straight cut across here, you could come down a little bit and make this rounded or curved. It's all up to you. Alright, and here we go with our glue. Glue the one side, glue this side, stick them together, glue our bottom. These are so easy to make, and they're addicting to make as well. Flip it over, and then snip, and snip. And this one, I mean, even if you wanted to, you could close the bag up like so. But here we have a much bigger bag than our previous bags. So they're all different. Now, let's do a piece with packing paper. So I don't want one that's quite this big, so I'm just going to fold and fold, and then I'm going to trim. And I'm going to use my ruler here just so I can get it kind of straight. Let's cut this off. Save your scraps. Okay. Going to fold this up to make the bottom of the bag. Use your nail, use your bone folder, use the handle of your scissors. whichever. Now the top of this isn't exactly straight, so I'm going to come down a little bit, use my ruler, cut that bit off that's not straight and is curling up. Then I'm going to fold this down like so. Alright, now we gotta do the rest of our trimming. And then we'll have another bag made out of this. So, snip. And right above that line. You know, I film quite a few videos in one day, and I start to run out of things to talk about, guys. I really do. Okay, so now on this one, we gotta cut this middle piece out. So, snip straight down, fold your pieces over, and now we're going to cut this piece out. Okay. And if you find one that you really like the size of it, you could always, before you glue it together, take it and like put it on a piece of cardstock or something and trace around it and make your own template. That way, you know, say you really, really like the size of this one, then you can always have the size of this one because you've made yourself a template out of it. So there's that as an option as well. Okay. Alright, glue up our bottom flap. Now on this one you're not going to really be able to see the glue, so I am going to put some more glue on there, and that's also going to help strengthen that part right there. Okay, we're going to give it the snip snip, and then this is off a little bit. Got a little double layer action showing. Okay, and there we go. Out of some recycled packaging paper that came in our Amazon box. I'm going to go back and glue this part down. That's also going to help strengthen that area. So there's that. Okay, now can we make it out of tissue paper? Sure, we can make it out of tissue paper. Tissue paper would be the same as like the packing paper we just did, okay? So you just fold it to the width you want. This one we can make a really fat one if we wanted to. But remember, most of our journals are only 5.5 inches wide, our pages. So you want to make sure you keep it under that. So I'm just going to fold up my bottom here, like so. Same process. I feel like my folds are going completely crooked. Okay, this one I'm going to make a bit shorter. So I'll fold it there, come up about 1/2 inch. And give it another fold. Sorry, I was probably out of frame on that. But I'm just coming up another 1/2 inch and giving it a fold. Okay. Work with me, paper. Okay, there we go. So at this point, I'm just going to take this and I'm going to cut straight across on this top fold we made just to make things easy. Okay, get all that extra paper out of our way. I'm going to unfold and do all my little snips. Cut all my little pieces out. Okay. On the top, cut straight down, fold these backwards, flip it over, and trim this piece out. And now we're going to put it together. So, I hope everybody is happy and well today. I hope you are able to do some crafting of your own. I'm just going to go ahead and put some glue there to reinforce that. Okay. And this glue does dry clear, so you will not see it through here. Okay. And now we do our snip snip. There we go. This is a little messed up, I think, because my folding skills weren't the greatest on this one, but that's okay. Alright, so there we've got that one. So, in just a matter of a few moments here together, we have made 6 different bags. Let me bring you up so you can see them all. So we've got our coffee dyed or tea dyed paper, we've got book page, we've got tracing paper, we have packaging paper, tissue paper, and whatever this paper is. I think this is out of like an old photo album or something, or maybe an old stamp album or something. It's very slick, and it's got that vintage color to it, and it's kind of like parchment-y feeling. So, that is what we created in this video, guys. That's all I have for you for today's video. If you enjoyed this video and you haven't already subscribed, please go ahead and subscribe to my channel. I really do appreciate each and every one of you. Also, be sure to hit that bell. That way, every time I upload a new video, you are alerted about it. And then like this video, give it a thumbs up, that way it can get noticed a little bit more. I am still trying to reach that 1,000 subscriber mark. The past couple of days have been kind of slow on subscribers, but that's okay. Not every day can be a great day. And if you want to and you feel giddy, go ahead and share my video to get it out there and get it noticed some more. But until next time, guys, remember to make today your own and be creative. I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye.